So I pull up my pants, and John Hitauka looks at me and says, look, I'm a magician and I can make things disappear, but not that.
We're on.
Oh, hey sports fans, Haroon Rashid, Khemeia Consulting, and welcome to Haroon's Hangout, the internationally featured show brought to you by Moby. Today, we have a very special guest, and we are joined by the one and the only Mr. Geoff Ramm. Thanks very much for coming on the show, Geoff. How you doing?
I'm very well, and welcome to all the viewers.
Hey, good to have you on here, mate. Good to have you on here. So today we're going to be talking about customer service versus celebrity service. And in today's show, we're going to be talking about what is celebrity service. So that is a term that Geoff uses, and it's also the title of his new book, which you can find out how you can win a free signed copy. So do stick around for that. But more importantly, with this being a practical show, we're going to tell you not just the theory, we want to give you practical examples of how you can implement this in your business. So as I've just said, on today's show, there is a free giveaway. You can win a free signed copy. That's right, a free signed copy of Geoff's new book, Celebrity Service. If you don't want a copy of this, you need to sort your face out and sort your life out, seriously, because this is really good stuff. This is just like brilliant marketing, business, service gold. You really need to get your hands on this. And this competition is open to everybody globally, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can be entered into this competition and win this book. So stick around to the end of the show and we'll tell you how you can win this book. Haroon's Hangout is brought to you by Movi, the video messaging application that allows for back and forth video message conversations that can be either public or private. Go to movi.co to see today's top posts, sign up for free, that's right, free, and join the conversations happening right now. That's movi.co. So, Geoff, really good to have you on, and let's just dive straight in. Let's just talk about, can you tell us, what is celebrity service?
Celebrity service is the gap in your service that you never realized existed. It's a gap in which your competition can't touch you for. Now, the difference between customer service and celebrity service, let me give you this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being abysmal, 10 being incredible, where would you rate your current levels of customer service to your clients, your customers, today?
Today, okay, so I'm going to say, I'm not going to be so arrogant and say, you know, it's a 10 or whatever, because there's always room for improvement. I'm going to go conservative and say a 6 or a 7. Okay,
that's fine. The majority of the audiences, majority of clients will say something around about the 7. That's quite the most popular. I don't know whether it's because it's the lucky number. It might be the lucky number. But no viewer on this watching Haroon's Hangout will be thinking, I'm a 1 or a 2, you know, things are really bad. There'll be no 3s, there may be the odd 4, there might be a couple of 5s, a few 6s, a lot of 7s, some 8s, a few 9s, and there might just be 1 or 2 stars watching this right now. Celebrity service doesn't exist in the 0 to 10 world. You could be delivering a 10 out of 10 service for your clients and your customers today, but if a celebrity were to walk in, you would find that there's a 14. You'd be delivering a 26, a 302. Numbers are infinite. And this is the most exciting thing about the talks that I do around the world about the brand new book, is it's inspiring people to go beyond the 10. And that is where the gap in your service lies.
That's absolutely fantastic. So, because the thing is, it's immediate. The thing that immediately sticks out to me is that you kind of almost put a ceiling on it, because you gave me a scale of 0 to 10, but it's like, why do I have to go for a 10? And it's like limiting your thinking, but you're saying it doesn't even have to be a 10. You can just go above that. You know, no one owns the scale. You can do what you want.
Like a bad maths teacher, ignore the numbers. Just ignore them. Yeah. They don't exist. But we do pitch ourselves within the numbers. I mean, the celebrity concept is an interesting one. And it's something that happened live on stage many years ago for me at a conference in the northwest of England. And I walked on stage at the half-time, just after the half-time interval. And it was all about customer retention and customer service, and I had all sorts of stories loaded up on the system, on the computer, ready to go. And I changed my opening line as I walked on stage. I just changed it. There was a little Homer Simpson voice in my head that said, Geoff, just do something different. So I thought, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound or a dollar. And I said, as I walked on, and there was 300 entrepreneurs and business people in that room, 300 businesses. And as I walked on, I said, do you treat all your customers the same? And I repeated it. I said, do you treat all your customers the same, no matter who they are, no matter what day of the week? It's a high level of service. It's consistent. And about half of the room, Haroon, they nodded. They said, yeah, we treat everybody the same high level of service. Apart from one woman. And she was sat right at the front, just off centre. And she shouted out. And she said, absolutely, Geoff, absolutely. Now, we're English, you know, events in the nobody shouts out.
Absolutely
not. Okay, if a speaker asks you to do something, you're like, oh no, we'll be quiet. Mm. And she shouted out absolutely, and she really caught me off guard because I was winging this first, you know, this question. And I said, oh, what sort of business have you got? And she said, I've got a boutique store. And she said, we design and make handmade children's toys, kitchenware, and homeware out of wood, metal, or stone. So, and she said, you know, very exclusive, very expensive. And I was like, wow, that sounds great. But this really did intrigue me. So I asked her another question. I said, give me examples of this high level of service that you provide. And she said, well, we've got 2 leather couches at the front of the store. So people can get the brochure, they can sit down, they can relax, and we also serve tea and coffee. And I said, oh, how much is that? She said, oh, it's free. The rest of the room were like writing it down. Yeah. All these little ideas, which was a great idea because it doesn't happen. And so she told me about this. I was like, oh, wow, fantastic. And everybody in the room were sort of agreeing, yeah, this is great. And then I asked her the question. I said, what happens if a celebrity were to walk into your store tomorrow? And she said, like who? I said, I don't know. I said, do you like men or women? And she said, I like men. I said, that's fine. That's fine. I said, think of 2 A-list celebrity Hollywood movie hunks. And she had a bit of a smile on her face and she started to think, and a few seconds later she shouted out 2 names. Now, I would love to do this with your viewers right now. I'm just wondering which celebrity Hollywood movie hunk that they're currently thinking of. Haroon, have you got somebody in mind?
In terms of who the hunks are or who my celebrity crushes are?
Go for the hunk first.
The hunks. Okay, so the first name that I think comes to every girl's lips is probably George Clooney.
Okay.
All right, and the other ones I'm going to guess are either going to be Johnny Depp or Brad Pitt, possibly Denzel Washington. Did I get any of them right?
Yeah, okay. She shouted out 2 names. And I've got to admit here, I'm now 10 minutes into my talk. Totally, you know, playing it by ear. And she shouted out 2 names, and she said, George and Brad.
Just George and Brad.
Your surname. You know how sexy you are when you don't even have a surname, right? I was like, okay. I said, okay, and I'm just playing at this point, but this woman intrigued me. And I said, okay, picture the scene. George Clooney's been making a movie here for the last 6 months. He goes home tomorrow. He's heard all about your store and the service that you provide, and he wants to buy some products for his family and kids back home. So he picks up the phone this afternoon. Hi, I'm George Clooney. You know, people like Haroon will call my name out in his Hangout one day because I'm so sexy. He said, look, I've heard all about your business. I want to come to your shop tomorrow, but I've had enough of the paparazzi. The paparazzi have followed me around in the UK. I'm tired. I've had enough. And he said, I love signing autographs, but you know what it is? I'm tired. I just want an hour's worth of peace and quiet. if I come into your store tomorrow morning, would you close it just for me? And I said, would you close it? And I said, well, I'm speaking here today. I've got another conference tomorrow in the local area. I'm staying here overnight. I want to come into your shop tomorrow. Would you close the shop for me?
No way!
And she shook her head. 299 people in the room collectively said, ah! You know, and she went, oh! I said, what's the matter? She said, I would treat people different. It wouldn't be the same high level of service every day. I said, of course it wouldn't. It wouldn't. But the next question changed everything. And it was my final question. I said to her, what else would you do for George tomorrow morning? A few people made their own answers out of that. A few people laughed in the audience, including her. And she came up with 6 ideas in 30 seconds. Now, this is somebody who couldn't get any higher service. She treated everybody the same high level of service. Who couldn't get any higher. I don't know what number she was, but it was high. She came up with 6 ideas. I can only remember 4. I can only remember 4 because it was like bang, 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 bang. First one she said is, I'll get my hair done. Her sister was a hairdresser, so she got her hair done tonight. I said, anything else? She said, yeah, I'll wear my best dress. Straight away, your appearance has improved. Straight away. Straight away. That client tomorrow, that customer who's coming into your business this afternoon, your appearance has been upgraded. I said, anything else? She said, yeah, we have a beautiful oak floor in the showroom. It's needed varnishing for the last 6 months. I would varnish it tonight. Tonight. Right. So it's ready for him. So all of a sudden, your image of your business has been upgraded. Billy Connolly, the famous Scottish comedian, his greatest ever quote, he said, the Queen thinks the world smells of paint. The last one was interesting. She said, I would get rid of the tea and coffee. Why? And everyone was like, no, it's a USP, it's a USP. You know, we've wrote it down. We're going to do that. She said, no, I'll bring in the proper coffee. Oh, the proper coffee, the good stuff, right? These are tiny little things, Haroon. But when I've been speaking around the world on this subject, when I've been speaking with clients, owner managers, to corporate audiences, to associations, I'm challenging everybody to look at their touch points, every single customer touch point, and have some fun with a celebrity. Who would it be if they were to email, tweet, phone, walk in? And what would you do for them that you wouldn't currently do for a Haroon and Geoff normal perceived customer? Because the thing that's happened over the last however many years, it is changing and it's inspiring ideas. We think we're delivering a high level of service. This lady thought she was delivering a high level of service. When George Clooney walked in the next day, it went to there. That's the gap. That's the gap you never realized existed, and that is the gap that the competition cannot touch you for. And that is celebrity service. Haroon's Hangout is brought to you by Movi. We are with the international speaker Geoff Ramm, an author of Celebrity Service, and we are talking about celebrity service, funnily enough. So, Geoff, I am absolutely loving this. So, I mean, but for the record, you are way sexier than George Clooney. Come on. Oh, in the dark. But so what we're going to do now is, guys, we're going to go into the part of the show which is all practical. So Geoff's got a load of great examples. Now what we've got is an acronym. That's right, a lad from Bradford used a big word. Yes, an acronym for celebrities. So let's bring this up on the screen. Can you see that, Geoff? I certainly can. Excellent. So as you can see, there is there's a load of great terms here, and Geoff's going to walk us through what each of these are, what they mean, and I know you've got a load of great examples as well, but just for the viewers at home who may not have seen the show before, we do have show notes that will be available on our blog, and some of these have got videos associated with them which you can find in the show notes, so do go and check those out. So Geoff, do you want to kick us off with C? Yeah, consistency. I think this is a fairly obvious one. you know, we can't be great on a Monday, Tuesday, but you know, Wednesday is not so good. Consistency is day in, day out, minute in, minute out. The greatest example I've seen of this in terms of client customer engagement, but also delivering a service, is in a petrol station. Yes, you heard that right, a gas station in the capital of South Africa, Johannesburg. There is a lady called Alison who has a BP garage, and she writes a quote, a quip, a joke on a blackboard, on a chalkboard on the outside of her petrol station every single day. Okay?
Wow.
She interacts, she engages, she provides a service to everybody who drives past that busy dual carriageway. She just doesn't do this every day. She does this every year. And Haroon, it goes back 40, that's 40 years.
40 years.
He's never missed a day.
Wow.
Now, this was interesting because last year I was back in South Africa. I had a conference there, and I went to see Alison because I know her quite well now because I talk about her in my events. And I went to see her, and the business was closed. She was shut. And she was actually closed from last February for about 4 months, Haroon. The whole business was they were getting new tankers, and you know all the forecourt was dug up with diggers and all big equipment. But the blackboard was still there.
Oh.
And even when the business was closed, she still came every day and wrote on the sign. That is the greatest example of consistency I've ever come across.
Wow, fantastic. Fantastic. So, let's go on to E.
E, excitement. Oh, my word. Can the viewers, can everybody who's watching this Hangout right now, can you bring an element of excitement to every single customer touch point? Can you get the client, the customer excited in every single thing, whether it be an invoice, whether it be a tweet, whether it be a conversation, just the normal run-of-the-day things, run-of-the-mill things in your day, in your business? Can you bring that element of excitement? Now, if we have any funeral directors watching this, this might not be the tip for you. Excitement. The greatest example I've ever seen was on an Airlink flight from Zimbabwe last year back to South Africa, where I went to see Alison again. It was from an Airlink flight. It was from an air hostess. And when I got to the top of the plane, I passed her over my boarding card, and she looked at it and she whispered and she said, "Ah, you've won a prize." I said, "What have I won?" She said, "Oh, I can't tell you, but I'll tell you as we start to take off." I sat in the front of the seat, sat next to a gentleman, and all of the front row, Haroon, had won a prize.
Wow.
But nobody knew what it was. She wouldn't tell anybody. It was a secret. It was a bit of a surprise. It was quite exciting. Sat at the front of this aeroplane gave me an amazing vantage point. Every single person who got on that plane, that flight, received a compliment from this girl. And it could have been from your hair, it could have been your clothes, it could have even children on a flight, even children with Buzz Lightyear in their hands got a compliment, and everybody who walked past us had a massive smile on their face. Now what she did, then pick up the phone, she went through the safety rules. I'm not going to go into detail, but she brought excitement to that. She then delivered drinks. She brought excitement to that. And everybody on that plane was smiling, listening, and had a brilliant flight. Haroon, I've spoke in many places, I've delivered in many conferences, and I've flown in many different carriers in many different grades. This was the greatest flight of all.
Wow.
As we were taxiing, she came to the front, and she gathered us all to the front, and she said, "Here's your prize." So we all leant in. And I'm really excited. I think, oh, I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is. And she said, "You have just won the opportunity to help me open that door if we crash." We all burst out laughing. The row behind us burst out laughing. And what I'm saying here is, try and bring some excitement, some personalization, some fun to every customer touch point. Do you know what? People will talk about you for years to come, as I will with Christina and that Airlink flight.
That's a brilliant story. Absolutely fantastic. Moving on to L. L for love.
Yeah. What? This might be a bit of a strange one. I think if anybody was to watch this and say, what is L in the world of customer service, they would think of loyalty. Well, that's a bit too obvious for me. I went with love. And it's that, and a very, very short one here. There's more examples in the book and online, but it's the love of customer service for when things go wrong.
Right.
We can all deliver. We love delivering service when a new client, new customer, and now everything's all happy. But the true test of celebrity service is loving what you do so much for when things go wrong and putting things right. I've got many examples, but we need to move on because it's a great, punchy live show today.
Absolutely. So the next one we have is E.
E is the second E is all about engagement. It's about the questions that you're asking. It's about that engagement with the customer or client. But it's also about really finding out what that person wants and getting under their skin and finding out some personal information about them. Maybe it's something to do with their children or the reason why they want this product or service. Maybe it's a special occasion, and using this information to help you to promote yourself and sell yourself, but certainly to provide customer service. The greatest example of engagement ever was from a lady called Julia in the world-famous toy store in London called Hamleys. It is a wonderful story, and I talk about Hamleys and Julia the world over, Haroon. And I would like to ask you viewers, if they want to go to my YouTube channel, they will be able to see a link to the video of me telling that story, or hopefully on the Hangout we can give them a link as well.
Absolutely. Well, we'll embed that video in the show notes so everyone can go check that out. And also, do go and subscribe to Geoff's YouTube channel and follow him on Twitter and everywhere else that he's on, because you will not be disappointed. He provides consistent, high-value quality content. So do go and subscribe to that. We'll make the links to those available in the show notes. This is the next one I actually really like, and it's one of my favorites that I've come across with this thing, and it's B for bravado. You want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. Have we got the screen on now, or can we cut back to?
We've got the screen on the acronym now, so yeah, they can see it.
Okay, fantastic. Can you cut to the screen to me? Because I want to show the audience something.
Sure thing. Yeah. Okay, it's on you now.
Thank you. Okay. Bravado. Being brave enough to back your decisions in customer service. There will always be people who are a little bit negative to what you're delivering or doing. Ignore them. If it puts smiles on the majority of faces, then go for it. And if it's true to your brand, true to the ethics of your brand, true to your values, then keep doing it. Don't let the minority spoil what could be a great experience. Let me give you an example. The York Pavilion Hotel in York, which is only half an hour from you, Haroon. The York Pavilion Hotel, my wife and I, we stayed there with Grace. Grace was very young at the time. She was about a year old. We stayed there on Easter Saturday night. Grace likes to get up early. And any parents listening to this, you know exactly what I mean, sort of 5 a.m. or 4:30. She likes to get up early. So because we're in the hotel and we didn't want to wake any of our neighbouring rooms, we quickly got up, got dressed, and out we went. This is first thing Sunday morning, 10 to 5 in the morning. As I opened the door, that was at the outside. Now that is an Easter egg box. It did have an egg in it. that has since gone. But that is the Easter egg box. And that was just by the door as we opened the door. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh! And I completely forgot it was Easter Sunday. As I looked down the corridor, every single room had an Easter egg outside of it.
Wow.
And I had one thought in my mind. No, I wasn't going to pinch them all, but close. I just thought that is a wonderful, wonderful idea. It's so wonderful. It's going to cost them 50 pence or $1. in a wholesaler, and across 100 rooms. Fabulous idea. We got home. We get back to work, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna phone them up, and I'm gonna tell them how great they are. And I phoned up and I said, can I speak to the marketing manager, please? He goes, oh, speaking. I said, we stayed in your hotel last week. I said, and there was an Easter egg. She went, yeah. I said, I love what you do. I said, I absolutely love what you do. And I said, it's fantastic. I said, do you mind if I, and I still kept the box, do you mind if I use this in future talks? Do you mind if I put it in my OMG book? And she said, oh, no, please. She said, but would you mention the York Pavilion Hotel? I said, of course I will. Which I'm now doing.
Yeah.
She said, I'm so glad that you rang. I said, oh, why is that? She said, I had 2 complaints last Sunday.
What?
I said, please tell me. And she said, somebody had rang down. So they'd got the egg, they'd gone back in the room, they'd rang down to reception and said, this is highly inappropriate, this is a holy time, a holy occasion, and it's not about chocolate. I said, tell them to shut up. Tell them to shut up. And she said, and I said, who was the other person? And she said, somebody had come down as they were checking out and said they didn't agree with this because they were diabetic. I said, tell them to shut up as well. I was so annoyed. But this is the thing, Haroon, this is the thing, and I want to come back to this and how people can use this within their business today. She said, I'm so glad you ran, I'm going to keep doing it. Because I was going to stop it. Those 2 comments, I thought, it's not worth it, I'm going to stop it. So you're stopping 98 people having a great service for the 2 who will moan at anything. And she said, but I'll keep doing it from now on. I said, fantastic. But how can businesses listening to this Hangout right now use this? Whenever you see somebody delivering great service, and it might be somebody in a restaurant, it might be a taxi driver, it might be somebody who you employ, do not keep it to yourself. When you see a great service, tell them how fantastic it is. Because they'll do one thing, Haroon. They'll keep doing it. It's being brave enough, having some bravado, being brave enough to see out the negative, to concentrate on the majority of the positive. So that's about bravado. There's many other ideas, but that's the one I wanted to share with you today.
Well, we love that. I mean, on this show we talk about innovation, and we say that innovation is daring to be different, and that is definitely encapsulating that. Very, very innovative idea. I love that, and I'll definitely be staying at the York Pavilion Hotel next time I'm there. So, moving on then. So the next one is R for response. Do you want to just run us through that one, please, Geoff?
Let me. A quick question for you, because I don't know about you, but I've read many customer service books and marketing books, and I don't know about you, Haroon, but I'm a little bit bored. There's nothing. I've been told this. I've been told this by many people. Oh, Geoff, there's nothing new in customer service. And I say, well, you're right until now. And they say, what? And I tell them about this concept. And I say, but you're possibly right. And the majority of books that you've read and I've read, and anybody else who's read on marketing or customer service, it's quite interesting. Let me just test if you've read the same thing as me. You have to exceed
expectations.
Thank you. Go the extra
mile.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah. Just embedded in there.
No, it's the same old. Because service, it looks as if it hasn't changed in 30, 40, however many years.
Yeah.
Here's a one for you, based on response. You must, this is interesting, you must answer the phone within...
I would say 3 rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant, eh? Really creative. Haroon, have you ever answered the phone after 4 rings?
Only if it's a girl that I'm talking to, and I don't want to appear as desperate. But from a business context, I tend to try and answer it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we do. Of course we do. But you know what? If it goes to 4 rings, 5 rings, 6 rings, the world doesn't collapse. Your business isn't going to die. I understand where this response. And anyhow, when I talk about response, I'm not talking here about time. I'm really talking about technology giving us an advantage that our competition haven't even thought of. Let me give you an example. My wife was car shopping. Her car exploded. She was in the market for a car. She went down to the local BMW garage. She went there and she asked the salesperson for information on this particular car. She saw the car that she quite liked, and the sale, now she's wanting information prices on used and new. She wanted information on pricing. She wanted information on the car itself and the insurance levels and all of the information that you and I ask for when we're going to purchase something as important as this.
Right.
She said, "Could you give me? Can you get me that information?" And the saleswoman said, "Yes, I'll send that information to you." My question to you and to your viewers now: what do you think that salesperson sent my wife 24 hours later? What do you think she received?
Well, a standard thing would be sending a brochure, leaflet, booklet, maybe a letter with like a, booklet in it. That's, that kind of standard stuff.
You're right. It's interesting what you say, standard stuff. The standard marketing stuff or the standard service that we're providing is what is the key word here is standard. Standard is 5 out of 10. It's
right.
average. We've got to break through this. This is what happened. 24 hours later, I'm back now from I've been away at an event. I was back 24 hours later. 6 o'clock at night, Haley received an email. Bing! And it was an email from the saleswoman. The saleswoman had got out her telephone, set it to video, videoed the car, did a tour of the car, and gave all the information that my wife needed to make a decision on in a few minutes. She uploaded that video and emailed it to my wife.
Wow.
The first sentence said, "Hi, Haley." Do you think we watched the entire video?
Absolutely.
Do you think we would have read the entire booklet?
No.
When I talk about response, I'm saying, look, if you want to send a thank you to clients, if you want to send a proposal and you want to send something personalized, think differently, do differently, and get better engagement and results. Response technology is giving us license to be creative. Now, do you know anybody at all, anybody in the world who could potentially help with video?
Well, I was gonna say, when we talked in the pre-production, I mean, we did say, I mean, the show's sponsor, Movi, and Laurie Guerreri, who does this, has appeared on the show before. We might even make that available in the show notes because we were talking about innovative video marketing tips for 2015. But the way that Movi reach out to people like myself is I got a personalized video message from Laurie. And Laurie said, "Hi, Haroon. My name's Laurie, and I'm from Movi. I've noticed that you are really into social media. You post a lot. You're really into all things digital marketing. And I've spent," she actually said, "I've spent 10 minutes going through your Google Plus posts." So she'd qualified me as the right customer. Then she had actually said, "Well, I think that Movi is going to be perfect for you." Fast forward a few months later, they're sponsoring the shows that we've got. So it was absolutely fantastic. We've got a great community on there. We've got a great sponsor, and we might just give a shout out to the sponsor right now. So Haroon's Hangout is presented to you by Movi. We are with the international speaker and author Geoff Ramm talking about celebrity service. So moving on then to the next one, I believe we are on I for independence.
Yeah, I want to go through these next ones quite quickly. They're fairly obvious. Independence. For anybody who has staff or associates, or you have a team, do all the decisions come through you, or have they got the independence to make customer service decisions themselves? Can they put it right for anybody? This is what we need to look at, because if it has to go through you, if it has to go through a committee, you've got red tape within your business. Okay? You've got policies and procedures, which I understand, health and safety and all the rest of it. But if George Clooney, Johnny Depp, Angelina Jolie were to come into your business tomorrow, do you think they would have to fill in the same form as you or I?
Definitely not.
So, can you empower your team to be independent enough to deliver that service? That's the question. That's the question. And the thank you, is a is a one that I'm extremely passionate about. I've been in business now for 13 years. People who book me to speak at conferences or clients on a one-to-one basis here in the UK, If come Christmas time, you do not thank your clients and customers, and I'm not just talking about Christmas, it could be any time, but I'm talking about thanking them. Christmas is a very good time to do this, or Thanksgiving is an extremely good time to do this. If you do not thank them with a gift or a card or something really personalized to them, then my word, do you deserve that business?
Wow.
Now, back in the day, back in the early days of the 80s, 90s, and into, only maybe the larger brands, maybe the larger clients would send back in the day they would send a hamper to one CEO sends another CEO a hamper. They never see the hamper, they don't know what it is, but they receive these gifts, and the rest of the team really got nothing. I'm talking about saying thank you for the business here. And physically saying thank you. Now, here's something that might surprise some of you viewers. I do not have an advertising budget. I've never spent 1 penny on advertising in 13 years of business. But I have a customer service budget.
Right.
My accountant will not get her head around this. It's true. It's true. What I'm saying here is reinvest some of the profits that you've made back into thanking your clients, because do you know what? It's going to come back to you. You need to stand out from the competition. And I'm not talking about marketing. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about service. If Angelina Jolie, if Cameron Diaz had bought your product, you know what? You'd go out your way and you'd thank them and you'd do something and you'd go out the way. What happens if you were to do this to a perceived normal client or customer? I'll tell you what would happen. You couldn't cope with the word of mouth. So that's the thank you.
Great stuff.
And, is it worth coming back to the video for the last point, Haroon?
The video of
you and I?
Oh, yeah, sure. So we got you and your team, so I'll just stop sharing that so you can see my ugly mug again. So here we go.
I just didn't want to see your face. I wanted to see your jersey.
There we go. I mean, I like I said before we went live, I am a bit conflicted, but let's see what Geoff's got here.
Well, we are Philadelphia related here, my sir. When people get celebrity service, when the team gets it, it's all about you. It's never about the brand promoting celebrity service. It's all about the individual, like Julia at Hamleys, like Christina at Airlink, like Alison at BP. It's always the person delivering celebrity service. It's never the brand. The people will make the brand never make the people. When the team get it, when you and the team get it, and everybody is on that same level, the service levels can't get any higher, and it doesn't matter which celebrity you are or whether you're just Geoff or Haroon. It can't get any better. They treat everybody the same. 18 months ago, I was at the wonderful Walnut Street Supper Club in Philadelphia with a few of my speaker colleagues, and we got the last table at the Walnut Street Supper Club in downtown Philly, and I had my back to the stage. It was a little stage area, and we ordered drinks, had some starters, and as we started the conversations. Just then, this guy with a white glasses on, he had a white shirt, he came running down, and he jumped up onto the stage, and all I heard was a piano being played. I thought, that sounds great. So that's the entertainment. He's playing the piano, full restaurant, great atmosphere. We kept on drinking, then we ordered the mains. And then this guy behind me, this pianist, he shouted out somebody's name, he called somebody's name. And I paid no attention in the conversations, and this person belted out this song. So they brought in entertainment for the evening for the customers. I was like, wow, that voice is incredible. That is something else. So I turned around. I got my phone and I just pressed record. 10 seconds or so, come back, conversation. 5 minutes later, somebody else's voice. I went, oh my word. Recorded that. It was stunning. When you turned round, I realized after about 10 seconds that these were not professional entertainers. These were the waiters and waitresses of the restaurant.
Wow.
Now, this wasn't a themed musical restaurant. This is just a restaurant. People say, well, consistency, excitement, love, bravado, response. Geoff, have we got time? Have we got time for this? You've got time to deliver average service. So make time to deliver celebrity service.
That's brilliant. Can you just say that last line again, please?
You have time to deliver average service. You have time to deliver celebrity service. Because what these waiters and waitresses who were on minimum wage were doing were serving and then serving. It was stunning. I made a video of it. It's on YouTube. You will have the link to pass on to your viewers. Go and see it for yourself, what it looks like when a team gets it.
That is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well, I've really enjoyed this. I'm sure that our viewers are going to get so much out of this. We are running out of time, so I'm going to move just quickly on to the Khemeia workout. So those fans of Haroon's Hangout, you know, every time we have a celebrity guest, we have what's called the Khemeia workout, where our guest will tell you, the audience, what's the one thing that they can do straight away after having watched this show.
Take one customer touch point, whatever that may be. Insert a celebrity name, somebody that you quite fancy. Then come up with the ideas of how you would now deliver that service. Current service, celebrity, the gap. There is a gap. There is a gap in your service. We just don't realize it exists. Hopefully after today we know there's a gap. My advice is to go and fill it.
Fantastic. Well, that leads us nicely then into the competition. So it's competition time, people. Let's get happy. So we've been talking about celebrity service. Geoff's new book is out, and it's doing really well. We're getting lots of great reviews about this thing, and we're giving you the chance to win a free signed copy. Don't sell it on eBay. Free signed copy of his latest book. And as we said at the top of the show, this is a global competition, so it doesn't matter if you are in the US. I know a lot of our viewers are from the US, so if you're in the US and you want to get your hands on this book, then this is what you've got to do. So we're going to get Moby involved in this. So like what Geoff said, let me just get me back on here. Here we go. Laurie Guerreri or Jacob Markevich from Moby are going to do a post. Either one of them, we don't know yet. It might be Laurie. We're not sure yet. Laurie's going to do a post about the competition. You've got to comment on that post. Now, if you do a public Moby elsewhere, we might miss it. So please, all entries have to be on that thread. So please respond to either Laurie or Jacob's post. What we want you to do is we want you to just take the Khemeia workout, what Geoff has just talked about. So just identify what your business is, what's your current level of service, give us a celebrity, your favorite celebrity, and what would happen if they came to your business, and what would you do differently to fill that gap. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick the best answers, and then Geoff is going to send you a free copy of the book. Can you just show us that again there, Geoff? There you go. Look at that. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. So I think we've run out of show. So Geoff, I just want to say thank you so, so much for coming on the show. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and we hope to have you back again as well real, real soon.
Thank you, Haroon, and wishing all of your viewers every success. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, guys. Well, next week we have got more show about marketing, innovation, social media, and all that good stuff. But until then, take care, sports fans.